Born on May 6, 1987, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Robert Meek Williams is a prominent American rapper widely recognized by his stage name, Meek Mill. He chose the moniker Meek Mill when those close to him in his neighborhood consistently referred to him by his middle name. Meeks lost his father when he was 5 years old, apparently during an attempted robbery. Meek Mill's family faced financial hardships, and he was raised by his mother, Kathy Williams. After the death of his father, he made a move to North Philadelphia along with his mother and sister in pursuit of a better life. His mother supported the family by doing hair, working in a bank, and taking semi-legal odd jobs. Meek attended Strawberry Mansion High School in Philadelphia but dropped out when he was in the 10th grade. Meek Mill began taking the rap game seriously at the age of 12 after losing a street battle to neighboring rappers. In his formative teenage years, he frequently engaged in rap battles using the alias Meek Mills. Late into the night, he dedicated himself to filling notebooks with lyrics and verses, which would serve as a wellspring of inspiration in the future. He formed his first rap group when he was still in high school. They would burn CDs of their music and convince friends to pass them around. Meek's desire to rap grew after watching his uncle, Philly hip-hop pioneer Grandmaster Nell aka DJ Grandmaster. His interest in hip-hop also grew as a result of the influences of independent hip-hop artists Chic Raw and Vodka, whom he admired through watching their DVDs. At 18, as he was getting a reputation as a promising rap artist, he was arrested and charged for carrying an unlicensed firearm and attempted or aggravated assault against a police officer. On the fateful day of his arrest, while walking to a corner store armed, he was swamped by the police who severely beat him up. Because of the beating, his lips and both eyes became swollen and one of his braids was ripped out. He was sentenced to 11 to 23 months in prison and ended up serving 6. While hanging out in his neighborhood, Meek formed the group Bloodhounds, which consisted of Mel Love, Dat Nigga Lil, and Young Pooh. They dropped a few mixtapes like Grimy, Thirsty, Starvin' and Hungry and Blood In, Blood Out. This was the moment when Meek Mill officially got in the game. The group lasted for 5 years before Meek ventured on his own. Embarking on his solo journey, Meek swiftly rose as one of Philadelphia's most promising underground rap talents, operating independently. In 2007, he introduced his Flamers series, an acronym for Hottest Songs, and unveiled his inaugural mixtape, Flamers 1. This debut project showcased the chart-topping single In My Bag. In 2008, Meek debuted the highly anticipated Flamers 2, Hottest in This City, which showcased more of his lyrical abilities with the singles So Fly, Prowly, and Hottest in This City. Flamers 2 garnered significant notice, particularly from Charlie Mack Alston, the founder and president of 215 Affiliated Records. Charlie Mack, known for his prior representation of prominent Philadelphians such as Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Boyz II Men, and Ms. Jade, was thoroughly impressed by Meek Mill's talent. Consequently, he promptly added Meek to his roster. Later on, through his manager, Charlie Mack, Meek Mill met with T.I., the renowned Atlanta-based rapper and record executive who founded and owned Grand Hustle Records. T.I. was deeply impressed by Meek's talents and extended an invitation for him to journey to Atlanta and meet with both T.I. and representatives from Warner Brothers Records. Remarkably, within just a week, both record labels presented Meek with offers. Despite receiving other tempting offers, Meek Mill regarded the chance to collaborate with T.I. as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and consequently opted to join his record label. Meek was elated, riding high with a record deal and the opportunity to collaborate with one of hip-hop's finest artists. However, his euphoria was short-lived when a setback hit. He found himself entangled in a gun-related charge, faced a conviction, and was handed an 8-month prison sentence. During his time behind bars, he immersed himself in the pages of XXL magazine, memorized entire unreleased mixtapes, and meticulously planned his next strategic move. After being released in 2009, he continued working as an artist under Grand Hustle and formed a work relationship with the label's resident disc jockey, DJ Drama. On March 12, 2012, Mill and Drama teamed up to release the third edition of Mill's Flommers series. The mixtape, titled Flommers 3, The Wait Is Over. Rick Ross added his verse to the single Rose Red during a visit to Philadelphia. Curious about potential collaborations, he turned to his Twitter followers and inquired about their suggestions. The resounding response was Meek Mill, leading to their eventual collaboration on that song. Because of legal complications affecting both Mill and T.I., Meek Mill was unable to release an official album under Grand Hustle, leading to their separation in 2010. In February 2011, Rick Ross announced the signing of Mill along with fellow American rapper Wale to his Maybach Music Group, MMG, label. 1 year later he released the album, Dream and Nightmares, with hit singles Amen, Burn, Young and Getting It, and Believe It. The album would be certified gold, selling more than 500,000 units. In May 2012, Meek Mill unveiled a mixtape as a prelude to his inaugural album, Dreams and Nightmares. During that very month on May 10th, he entered into a management partnership with Jay-Z's Roc Nation. Following this, the album's debut single, Amen, featuring Drake and Jeremiah, was released. Finally, Dreams and Nightmares saw its official release on August 28, 2012. On Halloween night in 2012, after celebrating the release of his debut album, Dreams and Nightmares, at a party in South Philadelphia, Meek Mill was detained by the city police. The incident occurred when the car he was traveling in was pulled over by law enforcement. The consequences of this arrest remain uncertain, as no charges were pressed, leading to Meek Mill's subsequent release from custody. However, in December, due to this episode, it was determined that Mill had breached the terms of his probation stemming from his 2008 federal drug and gun charges. He was eventually prohibited from touring for a month, leading him to cancel concerts in Africa, the Caribbean, and across the United States. Mill ignored the order and was sentenced to 3 to 6 months in prison. Living behind the bars didn't stop Mill from releasing new music. The third installment of his Dream Chasers series, Dream Chasers 3, was released on September 29th. He also announced that his sophomore album Dreams Worth More Than Money was halfway finished. Mill was released from jail on December 2nd and was prohibited from resuming concerts until he completed a plan of treatment and community service. Same year, in 2012, a Philadelphia-based pastor and community activist, Reverend Johnson, became known for his criticism of Meek Mill's lyrics and persona, particularly in regards to perceived negative influences on youth and the promotion of violence in his music. Reverend Johnson called for a boycott of Meek Mill's music and even requested that he change his lyrical content to be more positive and community-oriented. The controversy eventually subsided. On July 11, 2014, Mill's probation was revoked. The district attorney felt his behavior while on parole was questionable and was sentenced to 3 to 6 months in jail. He was released on December 2, 2014. Following his release from prison, in early 2015, Mill began dating rapper and singer Nicki Minaj. He accompanied her as an opening act on her 2015 world tour. In July 2015, Meek Mill took to Twitter to openly criticize Canadian rapper Drake. He publicly called out Drake for not being the author of his own lyrics. Through a series of tweets, Meek Mill alleged that Drake had employed a ghostwriter named Quentin Miller, a local rapper from Atlanta. Funkmaster Flex immediately sided with Meek and even hinted at dropping several reference tracks for Drake songs where Quentin Miller rapped them first. On July 25, 2015, Drake responded to these accusations by premiering a track titled Charged Up during the Beats 1OVO radio show. This release is widely regarded as a direct response to Meek Mill's claims. In the track, Drake not only questioned Meek Mill's relatively low sales figures, but also suggested that the rapper was gradually fading into obscurity. On July 28, Meek Mill failed to deliver the promised diss track, leaving Flex hanging. Consequently, Flex earned the nickname Pump Faker Flex as Hot 97 listeners endured hours of anticipation for nothing. Meek finally responded back with Wanna Know, but it wasn't what the masses had anticipated. Meek Mill also endured the social media wrath of 50 Cent after the G-Unit General took Drizzy's side in their beef. After Mill's release from prison in 2018, the feud was officially squashed. Drake was featured on Mill's song Going Bad from his post-incarceration album Championships. On January 2, 2017, it was reported that Mill and Minaj had ended their 2-year relationship. Their breakup is furthermore detailed on Minaj's 2017 single, Regret in Your Tears. Rumors of the couple's split hit the internet a month after the rapper briefly deleted his Instagram account and Nicki began posting cryptic messages hinting that the relationship was over. While shopping in Maxfield in early 2020, Mill was involved in a verbal altercation with Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Petty, before he was escorted out of the store. The issue resulted in a Twitter exchange between Mill and Minaj, highlighting a series of abuse allegations by both parties. In 2017, Meek Mill was arrested again, this time for a probation violation related to reckless driving and an altercation at an airport. His arrest received significant media attention and sparked discussions about the criminal justice system. Meek Mill's legal battles, particularly his probation-related issues, have drawn attention to the broader issues of probation reform and criminal justice reform in the United States. His case has become a symbol of what many see as unfair treatment within the system. Following his release from prison in 2018, Meek Mill has become an advocate for criminal justice reform, working to raise awareness about issues such as probation reform, excessive sentencing, and the need for change within the system. He has collaborated with big names such as Drake, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. The rapper is confident to double his total net worth in the next few years. He has great future plans to launch more albums and singles.